Another stage that I feel is also a very important part of the grieving process, and something else that is not listed in the normal stages of grief, is what I call expect the unexpected. There are so many things that happened once I lost my son that I really had no idea was going to affect me in the way that it did. When we came back from Duarte, came back home, I had to start going through his things, because there were things that I had from his father and, clothes and stuff like that. And there was his bag. We had a bag for him that he took, it carried all of his, medicines. It carried all of his clothes. I couldn't even look at the bag when we first got home. It was everything that I could do just to go through it and find the things that his dad needed. You know that obviously the services, planning the services are going to be hard. The funeral is going to be hard. All of that. The milestones that I've talked about before, the birthdays, the holidays. But there are times it will just hit you out of the blue. I was at a family wedding this past weekend, and it came time for the dances. And, they had the father-daughter dance, and then they had the mother-son dance. And the song that they played, and I think I've talked about this a little bit before, was I Hope You Can Dance by Leanne Womack. I immediately got emotional, and I just started crying. One of my family members came up behind me and gave me a hug, and then I had two of them on each side, and I just lost it. I just started crying. Like, I really was not expecting to have that much of an emotional response to that part of the wedding. So one of the things that I have learned is to give yourself the grace when you go through something like this. When you are experiencing something that you never expected, don't feel bad. Don't feel shame. Don't feel guilty for feeling that way. Our first Christmas, I got a gift from a family member, and I know that her thoughts were in the right place, but it was something that had several pictures of my son, and I was not expecting to have that reaction, and I just broke down. There is so many levels and stages to grief. Not too long ago, he shared a room with my other son, and my other son is in college, and he needed to buy a PC for his coursework. Like, he had a laptop, but what he was doing wasn't sufficient. The programs that he needed were too big for his laptop, so he needed a PC. So we tried to find a place around the house that he could put the PC in, and maybe out in the living room. Well, what kind of privacy, or not even privacy, like quiet that he's going to need to concentrate. He's not going to have that out in the living room with the TV and so forth. Okay, well, I have a desk in my room. Let's put it in my room. But same thing. If he's up till midnight or 1 working on an assignment and I'm trying to go to sleep, that's not going to work either. So I finally told my son, I said, you know what? I think we've got to move out Brandon's bed. And, he and I were just talking, and he's like, Mom, are you sure? And I'm like, honey, I don't see another way of doing this. There's nowhere else for you to put your computer. So then came the day that, I hadn't touched his bed in over a year. We hadn't, taken off the sheets, his comforter, everything was still there. So we start taking everything off, and, I start going to take off the comforter and then take off the sheets. And as I said, I hadn't touched it in, over a year. I started finding like little hairs of his. And I just lost it, the memories of this, those are from the last time he slept in this bed, and yeah, unexpected. I was not expecting to break down like that. I mean, I knew it was going to be difficult to take the bed out and try to get used to going into that room and not seeing his bed anymore, but I really did not expect to have that type of reaction to finding those little things. Just be gentle with yourself. That's one thing that I really want to hammer in as far as grief is concerned. Be gentle with yourself and realize that it's going to impact you in ways that you never even expected. So that's my take on that. I hope you guys are liking the series. Please feel free to share or comment or even follow if you're so inclined. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.